All right, everybody, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. And this reading is going to be for those that are carrying a heavy, deep burden that it's just to the point where you don't really know how to get out of this situation. It feels like it's been like this forever. It feels like it's something that you have inherited. It feels like this is just the normal state of reality. And this message is for those that are in that energy of continuing to carry something that is not yours. The 10 of Wands in tarot is when you're carrying something that is just not meant for you to carry it, or there's a different way to deal with this responsibility. There's a different way to show up, for this situation or for the individuals that rely on you, right? And what the 10 of Wands is saying as the main message for the situation is that you have to find a way, right, to understand that destiny is not set in stone, that your faith is not set in stone, that you have influence, that your word, your decisions, that your actions have influence, and you can choose to do things a certain different way. Even micro movements, even, small shifts can really amount to something of significance. So I know sometimes, obviously, we're in situations where we physically can't move, we physically can't make certain movements, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't shift certain things, whether it is our perception, whether it is the way that we react to the situation, whether it is our learned long-term planning about the situation. Like, you guys have to understand that there is influence on what you do, on what you put behind yourself. There is influence in that. And that's why this 10 of Wands is so strong. And along the lines with the 10 of Wands, you also have the Empress showing up in a reversal, which is the blockage, right? And the Empress is where our creativity is blocked, where, our sense of creation is blocked, where we don't see the expansion, we don't see the abundance, where there's an overbearing energy that actually makes our emotions heightened, right? And that is the Empress in reverse. Obviously, take this message how it resonates with you. This is meant for the collective, it's for all signs. And this is meant more of a metaphorical reading, so you can basically read between the lines and apply it into whatever situation you might feel stuck in. Whatever situation might feel like a burden, this is for you, right? Regardless of what department it is in your life. And the Empress can show heightened emotions, right? And when we have our heightened emotions, when we're overly irritated, when we are pissed off at the world, or when we are irritated with ourselves or irritated with the situation that we're in, and we don't see our God-given gift of creation, it can really enhance the sense of imprisonment, right? And the reason why that card is showing up there is because Spirit is saying you need self-awareness to understand that this is what's keeping you in a state of, I can't get out of here, right? Is our emotions clouding our judgment. And sometimes we don't realize that our normal state of being is actually a heightened state of being, that is something that has our nervous system all worked up, and we're not necessarily operating from a place of, stress free, or neutrality. Even doesn't even have to be super stress free, but at least a neutral standpoint. Sometimes a lot of us don't even know what that is, because we're in constant fight or flight. So this is really important for those that are handling burdens, we're handling situations where you feel stuck, where you feel like you have inherited a problem. This means that you are in a constant fight or flight. You know what I mean? You are in a constant state of survival. And Spirit is saying, well, at times, to get out and to go into a better road, or to go into a different phase of your life, you have to create something. You have to pave a way. And while paving this way, you might experience discomfort, but you are paving a way that is going to be unique for you, okay? And that's where the 7 of Wands comes into place. And this is the energy of the near future. This is the energy that we should step in, the advice, so to speak, is the energy that, even though, look at this card very carefully, there's people against this person. This person is sitting in the lotus pose, and they're in meditation, and they're listening to their higher self, their higher wisdom, right? But the reason why that card is so important, and it's so amazing that it is in the near future, is that it's saying at times we will find peace when we go against the current, okay? At times, we will find peace when we go against the current. At times, what will feel good for us might ruffle some feathers, and at times, us paving our own way require for us to create our own comfort or safe zone, so to speak, right? That allows us to find, harmony in difficult situations. And that's what that Seven of Wands is, it's about action. The wands in tarot, well, for those who don't know, the suit of wands is about action, and it's also aligned with fire, and it's aligned with passion, with drive, with desire, right? So when we see the wands here, it requires action. It requires action. Even if that step might be, I have to take a step back to see a bigger perspective, that is still action. That is still releasing something. That is still saying something doesn't feel right here. I'm not just going to eat this narrative. I'm not just going to accept this reality. Once you start questioning, maybe I'm missing a piece of the pie here, And that is something that if you are in that phase in your life where you're starting to question things, and it might feel like you're defeated, but if you're questioning, you're actually going in the right direction, because you're questioning, how can I, experience a better reality? Why are things like this? Which means that you're waking up to something. And like I said, that might feel even more uncomfortable, but there is a light at the end of that tunnel. So are you willing to stay in this box that makes you constricted, that makes you have to pay the circumstances of other people's decisions, right? Or do you rather be a little bit uncomfortable and feel that pressure a little bit more, so that way you could build something for yourself on your own terms, right? What does that signify for you? What does that mean for you? Okay. Another card that we have here that is the likely outcome, which is absolutely beautiful. We have here the Ace of Cups, okay? And this is the card of healing, all right? Yes, it is the card of new beginnings. All the, excuse me, all the aces in the tarot can symbolize a new beginning, right? But this is not just a new beginning. This is about a healed version of you, a healed part of you, right? This is about something inside of you emotionally, mentally, and physically even changing, okay? And the thing about the Ace of Cups is that it is about our emotional well-being, okay? So sometimes we have to heal the seed from within in order to see the roots growing, right? You have to nourish that seed in order for those roots to keep growing, so you can see something on the surface, right? And that's kind of what that Ace of Cups is. It's like you're bringing nurture into your heart. You're nurturing your heart. You're filling your own cup. You are starting from scratch. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Because now we're trying to see that this circumstance or whatever it is in our lives that is making us feel like we're carrying so much, right? We're starting to see that that does not belong to us anymore. And we're willing to start from scratch. That is what that Ace of Cups means. It means starting from scratch, releasing an emotional burden, okay? It means releasing an emotional narrative that has been constricting you, that has been keeping you in prison. That's what that Ace of Cups means. It means a new beginning, because you see things differently, because a part of you is being healed, okay? That's what that means. The way you give yourself is going to be different. The way you receive love is going to be different. The way that you perceive love is going to be different. And I mean love for everything. Love for the work, love for, the world, love in your partner, in your spouse, in your wife, whatever it is. That will be different, okay? So I love that that Ace of Cups shows up there as the likely outcome, because once you start realizing this baggage does not belong to me, I'm dropping it. And actually, I can't drop it. I don't have to carry it. I can leave it. That is your God-given gift, free will, So this is a very powerful reading, because it's so common for us to feel so stuck, in our problems. And not to say that they're not real. They're very real. Our problems are very real, right? But we have a lot more influence on how we feel about a situation, on how we perceive a situation, on how we handle a situation, on how we react to a situation. We have so much more influence than what we give ourselves credit for. Okay. So I love this reading. I will go ahead and get a little bit deeper into the reading and see what Spirit wants to share with us more. Let's see. So the 10 of Wands, right? Our theme, oh, look at this. So you guys, we have the Chariot. This is the, oh my gosh, can you see it? Yeah, perfect. This is the clarifier for, or, the additional card for the 10 of Wands. And this, the Chariot, which symbolizes being able to overcome your obstacles, knowing that you have divine guidance and divine protection and the wisdom of the universe on your side. This is about being focused and driven and really taking that direction that intuitively you need to take. So this is about, again, like I said earlier, it could feel slightly more uncomfortable once you make these pivots, right? But Spirit is saying, go with that energy. Continue to drive yourself, right? Or commit to the energy that you want to experience, because the obstacles will eventually smooth out. That's what the Chariot is saying. With the 7 of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Again, an energy of commitment. The Page of Pentacles is a young-like energy, is enthusiastic, is ready to put in the work, is ready to start from scratch. It doesn't matter to them what they feel it is something that they know, that do not know. They have just this enthusiasm about putting in the work, right? And with that 7 of Wands, you have to have that kind of energy. You have to commit to what it is that you're deciding to stand up about. Because if not, then you're going to crumble, okay? If you don't believe in what you're doing and you don't have grit, you're going to crumble. You're going to go back to your same habits. So the Page of Pentacles is about committing to something that you don't necessarily see completely clear right now, that you don't necessarily see the final ending, but you commit to it because you believe in the worthiness of this investment. That is what this is saying. So the worthiness of this investment, you choosing a better reality for yourself, you dropping a burden that does not belong to you, right? You saying to the things that no longer serve you, I do not hold you anymore. I let you go and I move forward. And I move forward and I make the choice to do better for myself, to handle things in a different way, because you will no longer control me. That is what that is saying. That is what that is saying. And it takes grit. It takes grit. It takes attitude. It takes a lot of fire and confidence. And it takes anger at times. That's why I think emotions, right? It's not that one emotion is bad and the other emotion is good. It takes sometimes anger to make you consistent with something, right? And sometimes it takes disappointment to make you driven about something. It's a matter of how we react to these emotions. How do we drive ourselves with these emotions, right? How do we utilize them? Do we let them crumble us or do we build something out of it? Okay? This is grit. It requires grit. I feel someone here hungry. You need to have the hunger for a better life. You know what I mean? Whoever doesn't have it, you're not weak. You are not weak. If you're stuck in a situation, it's not because of weakness. You know, sometimes in life we get a bad set of cards, and that's okay because the round will soon be over. Okay? Let's get one more, guys. Oh wow. 4 of Swords. Look at that. Talk about alignment. 4 of Swords. We're resting, okay? We're regenerating ourselves. We are preparing ourselves for the next phase, okay? We need to make space for that. We deserve that. We deserve to be able to say, hey, guess what? I deserve to be in my soft zone right now. I deserve to receive. I deserve to regenerate. Give yourself that, because if you don't give it to yourself, nobody else will give it to you, okay? Let's get a final card and we'll wrap it up, you guys. Let's wrap it up. Okay, Four of Cups. Don't stay in this energy that things won't change. Be careful with that, okay? The Four of Cups is this energy of being very disinterested with the things that have already happened, and you think that the next cup is going to be the same as the other three cups you had. And Spirit is saying, drop that attitude. It won't be the same. It will not be the same. You can change it, and never forget that. Okay. So, with that being said, my beautiful collective, I think this is where I'm going to leave the reading. This was a great reading. Let me know what you think down below. Drop me a comment, like, and subscribe if you do want to support my channel. I am trying to have readings every day, but if anything, you have 2 readings a week, guaranteed. And with that being said, my loves, I will see you guys on the next reading. Okay. Thank you. Bye.